Hello everyone, thank you for joining us for another video. If you're new to our channel, my name is Les, this is my beautiful wife Wendy.
Hi.
And we do videos showcasing St. John, New Brunswick to people who have had any thought of moving here, which we did 3 years ago to semi-retire to the Atlantic coast of Canada. So in a previous video that we did for you on camera, which most of our videos are not, we talked about the reasons that why we moved to St. John, because we'd done a lot of videos, but our viewers didn't know our story. So we shared our story. Today we're doing a video which is going to be a top 10 list, which everybody seems to love, of the reasons why you should consider moving to St. John, New Brunswick. So we'll try to keep it short, but Wendy here has a tendency to ramble on, so and maybe me too. But let's get started. 10 reasons why you should consider moving to St. John, New Brunswick. And we're not going to start and work our way backwards. We're starting with number one.
Number one.
The biggest reason you should consider moving to St. John, New Brunswick, and it is affordable housing. It doesn't matter whether you're buying a home or whether you're renting a home. It is far cheaper to live in St. John than almost any other city in Canada. So in June of 2021, we're right now in July, the average home price in Canada to purchase was $670,000, a little bit down from the peak in March. The average price in St. John, New Brunswick was $250,000. So if you do a bit of quick math, that's about a $420,000 difference. So what could you do with $420,000? You could either maybe be mortgage free, you could maybe supplement your retirement, you could maybe bridge the gap from being working until your retirement, which is what we did. But the world is your oyster, and that is not a small amount of money. Like, we're talking, the price of a home in St. John is about 1/3 of the average Canadian home price. But whether you're buying or renting, we know we have a lot of international viewers as well, and they are coming to immigrate to this area or thinking about it versus going to Ontario or somewhere else. The average rent price in St. John is also substantially lower than anywhere else in Canada. As of June 2021, the average 2-bedroom rental accommodation in Vancouver was $2,700 per month. In Toronto, $2,300 per month. In Halifax, also in the Maritimes, $1,750 per month. In St. John, $925 a month. So just think of what you're going to do with all that extra money. You work hard for it. Why do you want to just throw it into a landlord's pocket? So buying, renting, doesn't matter. Your costs of living are going to be so much lower. So that is the number one reason for moving to St. John. Let's go on to number two. Number two is safety and room to breathe. Wendy can attest to how safe this city is as a place. We've had interactions with people that have talked about how their kids can walk to and from school by themselves. They can play outside after dusk. It's just a wonderful place to be, isn't it?
Yeah, so we see kids on the street all the time, and they stop to talk to us. Like, we were just walking our dogs in the neighborhood not too long ago, a couple of days ago, and they're both pit bulls, as you know. We rescue pit bulls. So we were walking down the street, and some kid came off their deck and was like, "Hey, can I pet your dog?" Like, they're kids. And they're free to be kids here. They're not scared of anything because there's no real boogeymans out here. You know, it's a real throwback in time where your kids can actually play on the streets unsupervised. They walk trails. They don't have to be driven everywhere. You know, they're very independent. And, you know, it reminds me of when I grew up, when I was a kid, how we played outside and didn't come home until dark, sort of thing. So, and And the safety here, you know, there's petty crime. I'm not going to lie. If you leave your car door open, your CDs are going to get swiped if you still have those things. And, you know, if there's any change sitting in your front seat or any money or whatever, somebody's going to smash in your windows to grab it, because that happens everywhere. But as far as crime is concerned, we're from a big city, right? We've let you all know that we're from the Vancouver area, the Fraser Valley. And I'm talking about, there's no drive-by shootings here. You know, there's no people shooting up in back alleys. There's nobody breaking into your home and stealing your stuff. Like, it's just...
Yeah, no gang violence, no home
gang
invasions.
violence. Exactly.
So, yeah, there's always petty crime. Anywhere you go, there's petty
Yes.
crime. But there is no serious crime. And the other part of that is the room to breathe. Because when you walk the street at night, you feel safe, so you can breathe better.
Yes.
When you have no traffic congestion on your commute to work, or very little, you breathe better. When you've got space to walk around the city, people have commented on how quiet things always are. You breathe better. It takes some of that stress away from your life, both feelings of safety and the feelings of space and openness around here.
Yeah.
Got it?
Yeah.
All right.
Great.
Number 3, natural beauty. So St. John is not just an affordable place to live. It's not just a safe place to live. It is a gorgeous place to live.
Gorgeous.
It's one word you hear often from Wendy in our videos. Just gorgeous.
Just gorgeous.
And it is. That's just it. We have here, we are so blessed to have waterways everywhere. We have rivers, we have lakes, we have the ocean, which is its own category. We have hills, we have cliff sides, we have rocky terrain, we have beautiful trees,
Beautiful.
We have everything here. There's not really any form of natural beauty that we don't have here. Maybe not really high mountains, but we've got mountainous terrain as well. So the terrain here is just amazing. We see it every day. Our jaw is always dropping because you just never run out of beautiful things to see in this city.
It's a really pretty city. Just even the city line and the rugged terrain in and behind, like it's gorgeous here. It's just lovely.
Now, number 4, which is kind of related to that, is the ocean. Now, you could just say that's part of the natural beauty, but the ocean is a thing all unto itself. How many cities are there in Canada that are on the ocean? Not very many. There's a lot of towns, a lot of villages. There's the big cities, Vancouver, Victoria, there's Halifax. But how many self-contained cities that are on the ocean in Canada are affordable to live? I'm going to say there's one, and it's right here in St. John. So the ocean it makes everything better. You've got fresh breezes coming in, helps with the room to breathe. You've got moderating temperatures coming off of the ocean, helps with the way climate change is going these days. So it's the ocean changes everything. You get to be peaceful walking along the beach if that's your thing, which it is ours. We take our dogs to the beach. Mm-hmm. The ocean influences everything we do and everything decision we've made about living in St. John, and it is beautiful here. Anything to add?
No, just the ocean. Like, it's lovely. It's beautiful, and you can see it from all over the city, like in all sorts of different areas. Like, it's amazing living close to a large body of water, like an ocean. Just for what Les had said, like, you get the cool breezes in the summertime. Like, you know, there's been a heat wave in Canada over the last couple of weeks, and we've been staying nice and cool here.
And that leads us to our next point. Which I think we're at number... Oh, no, it
4.
doesn't. Yeah. No, that was...
No, okay.
Whatever.
Okay, number 4 is...
Going to be climate. Made a change on the go here. So the ocean relates to climate. Climate change is real. It's real everywhere. It's real in Canada. And we've experienced throughout this country some horrendous heat waves, wildfires, all kinds of issues related to climate this summer and in many summers past. And it's not going to get any better. I'm no scientist, but I can read the tea leaves, and climate change is happening. One of the reasons that we chose to move out here was because of climate in BC where we lived. It was starting to get extreme heat in the summer. We would get snow that we were not used to getting in the winter. And here, because of the ocean that moderates the temperatures, we have spring, summer, and fall that are, I don't think, could be better anywhere.
Oh, it's just beautiful. And I'm an allergy sufferer, so I notice the difference big time here. You know, my allergies aren't as bad. I'm not as itchy in the spring and in the fall. Like my allergies run all season long, and it's lovely here. I can actually breathe, and I'm not congested all the time from like, you know, smoke coming from forest fires and smog and all that sort of stuff. I just can breathe really well here. So, and the climate really attributes to a very nice quality of life. We sleep well in the summertime because it's nice and cool. And in the wintertime, it's still warm enough to go outside for a walk. So
yeah, so I think so far this summer, the highest temperature we've had in our neighborhood is about 26 degrees. It happened a couple of times most days, which if you watched our videos, you'll hear us saying it's like 22, 23 degrees just about day after day. So the climate is perfect. Now there's the winter. Okay, so we get a little bit more snow. I looked at the yearly averages. Toronto gets about 40 centimeters less snow than we do. Is that a lot? I don't know. And we get about 40 centimeters less than either Moncton or Fredericton do. Is that a lot? I don't know. But there is some snow in the winter. But the temperatures, the average temperature here in the wintertime, the daily high is minus 1.9 degrees, and the daily low is about minus 8, minus 9. That's not uncomfortable. The winter does not stop us from doing anything. This video is about you. I don't think it'll stop you from doing anything.
And when the snow does fall, the city's really good at cleaning sidewalks and streets right away. So you can still get out there to walk. It's great.
Yeah. So what's the next point? I can't even remember what number.
Number 5 is architecture.
Number 5 is architecture. So yes, the architecture here, much like the natural beauty, is jaw-dropping. And it's not a singular form. In Uptown, you have tremendous British and European influences. You have brick buildings, stone buildings that just blow your mind. But throughout the city, you've got so many different, you've got Acadian influences, which make it similar to what you would see in some place like New Orleans. You've got the New England Cape Cod style of architecture. You've got some stately southern U.S. looking homes. And even some of the new construction is beautiful as well, where you see it along the rivers and that kind of thing. But the architecture, especially Uptown, but all over the city, is mind-blowing. And
it is
eye candy. I'm not even into architecture, but I walk around Uptown and I just feel like a kid in a candy store.
Even in our own neighborhood, we live on the west side, and some of the houses here that has so much detail and the wood trim and the brickwork and everything else. You just don't see those houses in any of the areas that we've lived before, and it's just amazing. And the history that's attached to all of these buildings, it's just amazing. You know, we have a huge influence of the Loyalists that came up from the States, and you know, there's remnants of the War of 1812 with like all sorts of like towers and forts and everything else, and you know, it's the oldest incorporated city in Canada, so with it comes a lot of history. There's a lot of stuff that went down here, and you can see it everywhere we go.
And they preserve it. That's such an important thing. So many cities in North America and Canada specifically, they don't preserve their history, but St. John does. They preserve it, they celebrate it, they remember it, and it's wonderful.
Oh, it's just lovely, and it's refreshing to see. Like, you know, how can we move forward if we don't know where we came from? And this city is so good at reminding us where we've been as Canadians and how we're moving forward. It's just lovely.
All right, next point. Next reason why you
Number 6?
should move to St. John, and I'm not sure if it is number 6, but it might be.
I think so.
Okay. Food and entertainment. Now, this is a good one for Wendy to talk about, but just
No, I think we're at 7, aren't we?
I think so, yeah. Food and entertainment. This is not a big city. It's a nice little medium-sized city. So you're not going to get, a location on the next Beyonce tour, and we're not going to get awarded the next NHL hockey franchise. But there are tons of sports here to watch. There's tons of music festivals. One just completed this past week, the Area 506 Festival.
Lots of big bands.
Yeah, there's just nonstop festivals on the boardwalk. They have live music every day throughout the entire summer on the stage, all of it free of charge. And the food scene is, of course, you've got your fresh seafoods, you've got everything. But what I love most is that it's all in small European style, small pubs, small restaurants, personalized service, atmosphere galore. So
there are like the big box restaurants that are on the other side of town, on the east side, if you're into that. But what we love about this area is in Uptown, they're all local restaurants and they all have a really cool vibe. There's lots of craft beer. There's, lots of breweries. There's so much cuisine that are influenced from, immigrants and history and, just pub grab, like whatever you want, you can get here. There's night markets where there's like food trucks that offer really good food for very good value. And you can spend as much or as little as you want and get a good meal.
And what's so nice is that when you're uptown, you can hop from one to the other. Just walk out. Just get an appy at one place and a drink and walk to the next and do the same thing and sample all the cuisine. Nothing's spread out in uptown. Everything is accessible. And they're all small, intimate atmospheres, which is, to me, it's so reminiscent of European style. And it's just, it's fantastic.
And inside you get some of the pubs, you get like brick face, brick walls and old architecture inside that's been preserved. So the architecture is not only outside, it's inside as well. And you see it in a lot of the restaurants and pubs around town. It's wonderful.
Yeah, and food is definitely part of the culture of the city, and it's tremendous.
And that's not only in the summertime either. We're not a seasonal city here, so it's open all year round. And even the boardwalk has live entertainment in the winter because we spent New Year's Eve down there and sat outside. Well, we stood outside. Our beer stayed nice and cold. It was wonderful, but we saw quite a few bands that night. And
picture this on a New Year's Eve, being in a lot, like a couple of thousand people packed into our boardwalk, and they had open fire pits and they put piles of wood out, and anybody could just, when the fires get burning down, grab a piece of wood, throw it on. Band playing, big name Canadian artists playing all night. It was an incredible experience. And like Wendy said, it was actually snowing a little bit.
It was.
Kept our beers ice cold.
It was amazing. And all we really worried about was just bundling up to make sure that we were warm enough. And we stayed warm all night and we were out there for a good 5 hours. It was amazing. So all year round, folks.
Food and entertainment.
Yes.
So next
is
point.
Number 8.
I hope so.
Okay.
So it is outdoor activities.
Yes.
The St. John and the surrounding areas have never-ending outdoor activities. So now for us, we like to walk on the beaches. We like to try some different trails with our dogs. But I'm looking at the list that I put down. It's just a partial list. But snowmobiling, huge in the winter. ATVs, huge in the summer. Perfectly acceptable. There are trails designed for them all over the province, really, but in this area, they're everywhere. So if you like ATVs, and there's, in BC, there was very few places to ride them around the cities. You'd have to go way out into the country to ride an ATV.
Yeah.
Here, it's all over the place. You can do snowshoeing in the wintertime. You've got kayaking, you've got sailing, you've got windsurfing. Hiking trails, like I mentioned, everything, because not just the ocean, it's the river, it's the lakes, swimming in the lakes, swimming in the rivers. Some people swim in the ocean, but kayaking everywhere.
Ice skating on the rivers.
Ice skating, yes, of course, it's huge. And so there's never an ending supply of things to do outdoors for not just you, but your kids if you have them. They don't have to be stuck in front of their Xbox all day. There's just so much outdoor activity. It's hard to get bored here. I mean, as Wendy mentioned in one of our other points, we have young people that talk to us, which is amazing to begin with.
Because he looks kind of creepy, right?
Yeah, I look like a serial killer. But the kids, they're always talking about doing stuff. They're always out doing things. When you have kids that are active, then they're not bored, and then they're not causing trouble. So outdoor activities. Now, the next point, which I think is number 9,
Oh, number 9.
Yeah, number 9 is the friendly people.
Oh my gosh.
We've noticed that from the first day we arrived in St. John, that the people here are noticeably friendlier than where we came from, and I'm assuming most places.
Yeah.
Now, the Maritimes in general has a reputation of being a friendly place, and we have certainly found friendly people all over the Maritimes, but I haven't seen any as friendly as they are in St. John. Mm-hmm. And we've spent some significant amounts of time in other parts of the Maritimes, but it's noticeable. It's hard to explain, but people say hello to you. They make eye contact. They don't just look down when you walk by them. They're friendly. If you're at a store, people will chat with you. They always say that if you're going to answer your phone in the Maritimes, you better have some time to talk, because people like to chat. But they are so friendly, and it goes into every other aspect of how we enjoy living here, how you will enjoy living here if you come. You have to buy into it. Don't if someone's being nice to you, you got to be nice back. But yeah, the friendly people here is noticeable right from the get-go, and it's a huge part of why you should move to St. John.
And that friendliness extends to people from other places as well. There's a few places in the Maritimes that's not in New Brunswick. They're not that friendly to people who come from other places. Yeah. But this is a city that welcomes everybody. So we've been welcomed in with open arms, and it's been lovely, and we've made lots of friends, and it's it didn't happen right away, but it's happening, and people are just open to other people's stories, and it's so refreshing.
It is, and we've had friends visit us and family visit us, and so it's not just us that notice it. They've noticed it instantly.
We just had a friend out from Toronto who came to visit, and she's probably going to watch this video, but she is planning to move out here because she fell in love with the area. So what happened to be a visit, now she's actually thinking about moving out here, so that's awesome.
Yes, so, people sometimes travel through New Brunswick to get to other places in the Maritimes for the holidays. We challenge you to stop here. Stop in St. John, spend a couple of days and experience it as a tourist for yourself, and just you'll see what, keep in mind this list if you want to, and to see if we're not telling the truth, because it is true. Okay, so last reason, and this is kind of a fun one, and apologize to anybody who's offended by this, but the number 10 reason to move to St. John is that it's not Moncton.
It's not.
So there are people that tend from the outside, and we were guilty of this, that tend to categorize the Maritimes as it's all interchangeable, but it's not. It's very different. The three main cities in New Brunswick, Moncton is the biggest city, St. John second, and Fredericton is third. They're all very close to each other. They're all within an hour to an hour and a half drive, but they are very different cities. And the easiest way for me to try to explain this, and if you would have to know what I'm talking about to understand it, but we think of St. John as like a miniature Vancouver. Beautiful downtown core surrounded by water on three sides, with areas that stretch out towards the ocean and the rivers. And it has a little bit of Quebec City sprinkled on top because of the history and the beautiful architecture.
And the beautiful brass or the copper rooftops that turn green. Oh, they're everywhere out here. We see that in Quebec City a lot.
Yes. Yeah. Now, Moncton, we think of as being more like a miniature Calgary, with just a teeny bit of Toronto's center of the universe arrogance thrown on top.
No offense.
No offense to anyone in Moncton or Toronto.
I grew up in Toronto.
Or Calgary, for that matter.
And I lived in Calgary, so.
Yeah, but it's just the way that we think of it. It's a very different city. It doesn't have the history of St. John. It doesn't have the amazing architecture of St. John. It is a faster-paced city because people move there. They work there. It's got a little bit of that big truck syndrome that Calgary has. When we go there, we see people like burning out in their big pickup trucks because everybody's in a hurry to get there. It's completely different than St. John.
There's lots of traffic.
Tons of traffic, yeah.
Yes.
And, you know, okay, so St. John has so much here and to do. Moncton, you can drive someplace to do stuff, kind of like Calgary. It's great on the weekend, but what are you going to do during the week? Well, they build a water park, and they build a casino, and they build a lot of strip malls and a lot of chain restaurants. So there's nothing wrong with Moncton, but it is not the same as St. John.
Not even close.
And if there was no St. John, and if there was no Halifax, and if there was no Charlottetown, and if there was no Fredericton, would we have moved to Moncton?
Maybe.
Maybe. But it really isn't much difference from where we moved from. So
it's a half an hour from the ocean as well.
yeah. So much like Calgary, there's lots of stuff to do around it, but not much going on in it. Okay, so that's the number 10 reason. Again, no offense. This is all in good fun. Moncton's a fine city. But those are our top 10 reasons. I'm just going to go over them again because I think we lost track of the numbers. Number 1, affordable housing. Number 2, safety and room to breathe. Number 3, natural beauty. Number 4, the ocean. Number 5, the architecture. Number 6, climate. Number 7, food.
And entertainment.
Food and entertainment.
He can't even read his own
No,
writing.
I can't read my own writing. Number 8, but I did make notes, which is far better than what we usually do. Number 8, outdoor activities. Number 9, friendly people. And number 10, it's not Moncton.
Yes.
So,
Can I add like maybe a number 11?
please do.
We're here.
Yes. Come and visit us. Buy us a beer. Anyway, thanks again for watching another video. It's shorter than the last one we did like this, but not by a whole lot. So, Wendy will sign us out.
All right. So thank you so much for watching and considering moving to St. John. We've given you 11 very valid reasons. So we love St. John, and we'll talk to you soon.
All right. Take care.